Hi, I'm Louise from A2A Training, and I'll give you a brief overview of the Insurance Practitioner Level 3 Endpoint Assessment with us. So there's three elements to the endpoint assessment. There's a case study test of around 45 minutes, and each case study covers 15 learning outcomes, which must include at least one knowledge, one skill, and one behaviour. This must be passed before progressing to the professional discussion, which is around 60 minutes and is supported by the portfolio of evidence. Again, this must be passed before progressing to the multiple choice test. So during the case study test, the apprentice will be presented with two scenarios, and the case study scenarios are fictional and based on realistic insurance situations. The apprentice will have 15 minutes to read and digest the case studies, and then 30 minutes of questions and answers with the assessor. The case study tests are tailored to the chosen pathways of claims handler or loss adjuster, insurance underwriter or junior broker. This will then be marked by the independent endpoint assessor prior to the professional discussion, which will most likely take place 1 to 2 weeks after the case study test. So the second endpoint assessment method is the professional discussion underpinned by a portfolio of evidence. The discussion will last around 60 minutes and will be completed online using Teams or Zoom or similar. You should refer to examples you've included in your portfolio or from your day-to-day work to support or illustrate your responses, and it's a good idea to have 2 or 3 examples for each area or criteria. The portfolio itself should contain around 12 pieces of evidence, and we're looking at quality rather than quantity. The portfolio itself can be submitted at Gateway, but must be submitted at least 2 weeks before the professional discussion. So here's a list of portfolio ideas, such as redacted workplace examples, workplace observations, reflective statements, professional discussions with your training provider, reports or appraisals, annotated policies or procedures, presentations and project work, and continuous professional development or your CPD. All work must be the apprentice's own work, and any collaborative work, including the work of AI, must be clearly referenced. So there's some topics or themes that must be covered in the professional discussion, such as the insurance practitioner's role and the insurance landscape, using data to ensure appropriate and compliant working in the insurance sector, engaging with others to progress insurance matters, and insurance decision making. The knowledge test is the final element of the endpoint assessment, and this is a multiple choice examination which is administered externally and not by A2A Training. We will, however, gather that information from the awarding body and then add that to your overall endpoint assessment result, which we will then complete for you. So in terms of grading, there's 2 grades available for this endpoint assessment, which is pass and distinction. A pass in the Insurance Practitioner EPA is achieved when the apprentice consistently demonstrates the required knowledge, skills and behaviours to perform their role effectively and accurately. A distinction is awarded when the apprentice goes above and beyond competence, showing a deeper understanding, sound professional judgment and the ability to analyse, explain and add value through proactive and insightful application of their knowledge. So you will need to be in a room on your own to complete your endpoint assessment, and it is completed under examination conditions. It can be completed from work, home or at your college or training provider. Please log in around 15 minutes early and always check your connection. And always remember the requirements of the assessment plan must be adhered to and any changes must be met. If you allow around 45 minutes for the case study and 66 minutes for the professional discussion, but also consider time to allow for assessment, breaks and contingency. Remember to bring photographic ID on the day of your endpoint assessment, like a passport or driver's licence, and your results will be released within 7 working days of all 3 assessment components being completed. Good luck with your endpoint assessment, and here's our email address should you need us.